Okay. You've been on the very low-calorie protocol for, it looks like about 13 days. Today would be your 14th?
Yeah, because I think I started numbering when I was doing the gorging.
The gorging.
So, and I think I'm on 16 there. So.
Overall, how do you feel this is going?
Well, it's hard to tell because I haven't weighed myself since I saw you last. So you kind of feel like you hit a wall, and then you put something on, and you go, well, these are loose, and they were really tight the last time, so things are happening.
How do you physically feel?
Good, great. Very little appetite. Good energy.
And your husband had a 50th birthday, and you went and had a party, cooked for it. You went to Buca's.
I cooked for the kids on Sunday. We did a big barbecue. I made them half-pound burgers with bacon and cheese and ciabatta bread.
Did you have fun?
I had a great time. I had a bison burger, 3 ounces of grilled bison.
And you were totally good?
Romaine lettuce. Yeah, it was awesome.
In the past, if you had been on a diet, would that have occurred? Would that have been...
No.
What is the difference this time around? Was it my kick-ass preparation?
Well, of course it was, darling. That's part of it. And I've always been one of those, when I'm on a program, I'm on a program. So knowing that I have only certain things I can choose from makes it easier. The scary part is
because the choice is made for you.
Right.
And you are right in recognizing that, well, following rules is easy because the choice is made for you. We basically say this is yes, this is no, and this is what you need to do. Do it.
Right.
The question is, in the future, let's say upcoming Thanksgiving. We've got Halloween, Thanksgiving. You are entering the most gluttonous season in our culture. It is everywhere. You're inundated with alcohol, sugar, candy, cakes, pastries, pie, wine, cocktails.
See, now you're getting in that.
You're going to get, here, take a shot.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not apprehensive. After this weekend, like I said, we did Boyd's. We went to Buca, and I had ordered all the food, so it was all of my favorites: chicken parmesan, fettuccine alfredo.
What if it tastes super good? You're having a glass of wine, you're enjoying the moment, and the food is like amazing. You have every reason. You're either celebrating or you're pissed off, so you have any reason
to do it.
To just entitle yourself to the indulgence of quantity. We've got to look at this from a different place so that you don't feel the need or desire to eat excessively. Mm-hmm. That's what we have to prepare you for.
That's the scary part for me. That's always been my problem. Is
indulgence
stopping.
Excessively.
Yeah, I'll starve all day, no problem. But then when I do eat, I don't want to have to stop.
When we first met, we talked about this concept of, think about that feeling, and is it in any way associated to judging the food?
Yeah,
so if it's bad food, then I need the indulgence. But if you're not judging the food, and you're enjoying it as it is without guilt, and in knowing that you could have the food anytime you want, really.
Right. I think.
Does that change the desire to eat excessively? Because it isn't this one time only. You're never.
Right.
You're not coming from a state of deprivation. You're celebrating. And the food is associated to that celebration, but there's no guilt or deprivation associated to that.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, it's just, I guess it depends on the phase I'm at, because I'm such an all
well, that's person. Based on the old way of thinking.
Yeah.
Right? So if we were to say, hey, we're no longer going to be criticizing food or moralizing it, or you're never going to hold yourself back from anything ever again. Remember, that came from the diet.
Right.
We kind of established that the diet, the moment we overindulge is usually because you're eating something that is sinful or wrong, but it's associated to the celebration or dealing with, crap happening in your life, so you feel entitled to it, and you're eating excessively because you're not going to get it in the future. That's the state of deprivation.
Sure.
So the feeling you're getting is based on that view. So with this new view, can you forecast what it will be like to have all those reasons, but not overconsume out of the impending deprivation from a diet?
I feel like I can now.
Well, I cannot.
No,
Are you
I
excited to try?
Absolutely.
I know it's really fun. The
Yeah.
next phase is really fun for that reason. It really is.
I'm really excited for the next phase. I'm pretty tired of chicken and broccoli.
Well, switch it up now. I mean, because you're halfway through, really.
Yeah.
You could stop in a week.
No.
I know. Why would you do that?
Why would I do that?
Especially when you feel so good.
Yeah. People can't believe it. I'm like, I'm sleeping. I have had a real sleep issue the last couple of years, and I'm sleeping through the night easily every night, and I'm not staying awake when I wake up in the night.
How would you love it if I were to say that that's not the HCG?
I'd love to know that it wasn't the HCG.
It's not. Part of your problem is, first of all, what you do. You are a singer. Mm-hmm. You're a performer, and some of that comes with late night performance.
Some of it does.
So, but the other part is how much do you consume at nighttime? Did you consume at nighttime?
Always.
Which stimulates the thyroid, especially if it's sugar sweet. You're actually creating kind of a wiring to keep you up.
And that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in all day, barely eat during the day and then have dinner with my husband.
Yeah,
and that's when the heavy foods would come out and the wine is pouring. And so, yeah, I'm sure now it's, I'm drinking herbal tea and I'm eating.
Can you still feel that kind of relaxation? So what's the feeling you associate to that? The wine comes out, the food comes out. Is it reward? Is it relaxation?
Partly social, too. I mean, with Boyd and I, it's always, he's like, I lost my drinking buddy. And I'm like, no, you didn't. It's not like I'm not going to drink wine.
Put your tea in a wine glass. See if you like that.
Yeah, exactly. I drink club soda in a wine glass.
Some men, too, as soon as they see you drinking wine, you know what they think?
Oh, I suppose they do.
I might get lucky. So maybe you just put out without the wine so that he doesn't associate it.
Just a thought. It's really, I think for us it's just a social, it's been a routine.
Yeah.
You come home and you have dinner together and, my job is stressful, my day job is super stressful. Mm-hmm. So he's always had a glass of wine waiting for me.
Yeah, well, he's caring for you.
Oh, absolutely. And that's how we show love. We food and...
Which is totally normal. I think that to human nature, it's part of our nature is to show and care, and our actions. We use actions to show that we love and care for someone and want to provide or protect them. But can you do it and stay functional with food? And so you have to kind of navigate that part. It doesn't just show up in your lap. You have to want it to create it so that you get the opportunity after a hard day's at work. I mean, has it been hard for you? Because it's not, just because you're on this protocol doesn't mean the stress that you experience at work is going away too.
Oh, no.
Because if that would be enabling, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If that tempered down and all of a sudden there's no need for the food. So in the future, how can you come off of that? Because it's almost like shaking up a bottle. The pressure builds. How do you release the pressure afterwards?
Yeah. Well, like I said, right now it hasn't been reliant on the food. And this has actually fallen into my lap, come about at a really healthy time because we're so busy at work. I don't even think about food. Most days it's like 3 o'clock. I go, geez, I should probably eat something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not hungry. I'm so stressed and focused at work.
Mm-hmm.
I have coffee and then I drink water until, all of a sudden I go,
yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, so I run upstairs and I have a few ounces of chicken. I think my goal is to be better about having snacks throughout the day when I get a little hungry rather than just being so comfortable with the feeling of being hungry.
Or pushing it off.
Yeah, which is what I tend to do.
Do you do that because you're looking forward to that reward? Some people know they want to eat excessively, and so they actually get excited when they're really hungry.
Oh, because then they feel like they can do it. That's
They've earned it.
I know, every time you'd have different scenarios, I know someone that's the one who works out 6 days a week as hard as she can so she can drink all the margaritas she wants and eat chips, and that's why she does it. And then my other girlfriend's like, I won't eat all day today so that we can go out tonight and I can eat whatever I want.
Without guilt.
Without guilt.
Which is insane when you think.
I'm like, I just want to be able to eat what Boyd cooks and then be able to say, that was great, I'm done, and push the plate away and not feel like I have to clean my plate.
Oh, I cannot wait for you to get to do that. Have you thought to give him your list and say, make something fabulous?
Yeah, find something on here. I haven't, and I should.
I would. Start practicing. Give him the list and say, here's what I can have, and these are the measurements. So make sure you measure the meat for sure, and I can mix the vegetables, but don't go over this allotment and blah, blah, blah. You can use vinegar, sea salt, you can use shallots, garlic. There's a lot of options there.
So it is okay to mix the vegetables?
Yes.
Okay, because in the book it was saying for some reason he didn't want you to mix the vegetables.
Yeah. Dr. Simeon says only one vegetable
per serving.
Yes, at that meal to be chosen. I have a video on this specifically, but back then he was deducting the protocol. You would go to the clinic every single day, get your injection at the clinic every single day. He'd get your weight every single day, and he'd look at what you ate. If you had had a stall or a gain, he would be dissecting the food that you put in your body. And if you had mixed a bunch of vegetables, he wouldn't have known which one may have caused the issue.
Where he could figure it out.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Keep in mind, it was all based on scale weight, which is so inaccurate.
Right.
It's inaccurate. So to even use it as a monitor of your body fat composition is just... it's crazy. We have so much more available to us today. But anyhow, you can mix your vegetables.
That makes so much more sense. He was trying to identify the trigger.
Oh yeah, the elimination.
Like someone with allergies.
It was exactly. It was an elimination thing for him, and he did it for decades. So by singularizing what you ate, it would be easy to deduct what the problem was. We don't need to do that today. I've done enough monitoring with metabolic tests, body fat compositions, and I've done this a lot to know that if you maintain within the measurements combined with what's with your hunger, it's not going to cause any problems to mix. So I think a common issue when people mix is that they overestimate the quantity. Too many people get loosey-goosey and go, oh, that looks like 2 cups.
It's way too hard for me to eat 2 cups of vegetables. So
it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't.
So if you're, and Dr. Simeon's didn't use the hunger rhythms as a gauge. He talked about hunger quite a bit, actually, in pounds and inches. And he said if you're not hungry, you don't have to force feed. In fact, he never force-fed anybody. As people get hungrier, he said to add more. He created this 800 concept for people that he felt were close to their goal. Where he said abnormal fat stores are close to diminished. They need to eat more, which was gauged on hunger. But yeah, you have that ability. So give him that recipe, give him the book and say, we got to start getting ready because I want to be able to eat really good food that you've made for me in love and care, and I want to practice stopping when hunger goes away. So do it now on the protocol. Don't wait until it's got cheese and
sour
cream and bacon and wine and...
Heavy on the bacon with that one.
You get where I'm headed with that one. So...
That's cool.
Well, good for you. Do you want to weigh yourself, see where you're at?
Yeah.
Here's what I say to everybody who's going to be weighing. Is it going to affect how you feel? Because right now, how do you feel?
I feel good.
Do you feel successful? Do you feel like the body is fixing itself? And
I do, and it's really easy to go, well, this is still, and I'm like, it's been 16 days. It's not going to go away completely overnight. But then I looked, like yesterday I was wearing tights and boots, and I'm like, my knees are thinner. So it's
and all you're doing is assessing the site of what's happening. Yeah. Can you even comprehend what's happening hormonally to you right now?
That's what I'm excited about.
I mean, look at the fact that you're sleeping that well. What does that tell you?
Things are working better.
Oh, can you even comprehend that?
Yeah.
So you're just going off of you. So now what we're going to measure is gravity. So what does gravity have to do with what's going on hormonally?
You can turn
that. There we go. Go ahead and step on. We've got about 50 seconds before I have to turn. It's ready.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind if I tell people where you're at?
I didn't lose very much.
You lost 4 pounds since I saw you last. Are you seriously? Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me how that feels on Weight Watchers next time you go on it, losing 4 pounds in a week?
That's true.